Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Happy belated 4th of July. I got my shore out there and the American flag. We also just celebrated Canada Day last week as well. And what an amazing run we have had in the beginning of July. And you know what? Historically, this has happened. I'm just calculating right now roughly where the SPY should be based on where these stocks are. So we closed at 312.24. You see that, guys? Do you see that? Right now, the top 30% of the holdings, let me go ahead and change it. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say we're likely going to hit 319 today because the holdings for the SPY have gone ahead and they have increased for the top 30%, 2.3%. And what has happened on the SPY today? We have gone sideways, right? You guys always know I start off with that SPY analysis. So looking at it, I have created a weighted average percentage change for the top 30% of the S&P 500 holdings. And looks like the stock or the ETF of the SPY is actually lagging, right? It's lagging behind where the stocks have moved. So seeing that, these guys are manipulating it. You know, we see this manipulation every single day of the week. And here is a bigger example of it because I'm able to go ahead and calculate. I could go forward and I could calculate on Qs as well if you guys want me to do that. But I just went ahead and I did it right here. That's the top 70% of the Qs if I went ahead and did that for you guys. But right here, we've got a nice probably $2.40 move that should be happening because the stocks are saying the index should be up here based on the weighted average percentage change. But the index has gone sideways, right? We had big volume where? When it came down to the moving averages. Let's go ahead and bring it to our daily chart. I know you guys are going to say, Jane, all these lines, right? I got to clean it up. We'll get there. We'll get there. So looking at it, we've got our, I do also do training with people. I've been training someone all about day trading the SPY. And I said, listen, you know, right here, we really are overextended. Yeah, it could definitely pull back. It's very risky to go ahead and go long right here. However, there is that potential for it to squeeze. And I was talking today in my training at the training pit. We were talking about daily short volume. So if we go over here, oops, wrong one. We go and we look at the daily short volume for the SPY, right? When we look at it, everybody is just being stubborn, right? Over the past 5 days, 60% of that short volume, 60% volume over the past 5 days was short. Now, I'm going to guess that those people were newer to trading. Why? When we go ahead and let me pull this up over here. When we go ahead and we look at the historic movement, oh, it's going to take a second to pull up my files here. When we go ahead and we look at the historical movement for the SPY for July, we're going to be seeing that it's bullish, right? So seeing that the seasonality is bullish, maybe the algos are programmed off of the seasonality for the SPY as well. And so we go ahead and we look at it. Just waiting to load here. So we can see, hey, look, right now, for the first 2 weeks, right, we're right here. We're up. Maybe we're going to have a little pullback and then a surge higher to where we were back in May. So we could easily be testing that 320 mark. Somebody asked me today, they're like, what's your call, or last night after my weekly Sunday, what call option that you would like to go ahead and call out? And I said, you know what? potentially 320 for the SPY on Friday. Hey, Julia. Okay, so the daily, Julia's asking, the daily short volume actually helps us when they start covering. To go long, yes, because if you have the price action moving up, they're going to go ahead and get squeezed. And does the ES lead the SPY or the other way around? Well, Julia, what is it? The ES are the futures. So that's anticipating what the SPY or the SPX is going to do in the future. So many times you will see that price action go ahead and happen on the futures before it happens with the SPY. So we've got this. This is just simple math, right? Calculating it out, roughly 319.40. Would be awesome if it closes right there today. We've got the seasonality. We've got the shorts that are being stubborn. And right now, we're just going sideways. Nothing is happening right at the moment. In studying the dark pool prints, guys, in studying the dark pool, we know that they manipulate. They are going to hold it until they are ready to move. So just wait, be patient, right? When we go in and we look at it on the shorter time frame, check it out, right? Let's go ahead and, I would tighten up my bullish above level here. Okay, hey, if it goes above 317.20 or below, right here, pretty much held, 316, that's going to be our moment likely. It's going to happen. And it could happen at 3 o'clock. It could happen, it could happen at 3:30. They might rip it right at the end of the day, but looks to me like the SPY needs to catch up with the stocks in the index. So it looks like it could be a potentially easy long, in my opinion, from here, right? Now, we shall see. We'll see what actually happens. Are they going to drop all the stocks in the index? They're popping them up to go ahead and sell them short. Don't know. But looking at it, in trading the SPY, you could trade the SPY anywhere around the world. It's the most heavily traded instrument, options and the ETF itself, right? But you guys know you're here, maybe you're watching me on Tocker Facebook or Twitch, or on my Twitch as well. And you guys know I do create my watch list live every single morning. So let's head on over to my list right here. We'll check it out. So we had Q2, that was 55% short volume, right? And went ahead, it did not go ahead and gap up, right? It was a gap and a bit of a crap in the morning. Also, FUV, right? Well, had that nice run up. It was lower float at 16.1 million. It did have that nice run up, right? It opened, broke that $8 mark and ran up to $8.90. So not bad, at least about a nice 12% move. From that, we also had BABA. BABA, right off the bat, nice move to the upside. How about my daughter share of this? We have it on the wall because that was her first word, was BABA. So went ahead, and it's very special stock for that reason. Also Square. Square had big volume pre-market, had a nice run up. Look at that, $10 move from that potential breakout. I said to go ahead above 118.60, potential move to the upside, capitalize on it. Sure enough, $10 move to the upside. You're looking about 10%. Now, what's just simply crazy, right? Tesla. Tesla was not on my list today. But when we look back at Tesla over the past 5 days, how many $1,000 stocks have roughly a 40% gain in 4 days? That's going to happen with all the shorts that are being stubborn and being squeezed. And we're seeing that time and time again now with this market. Everybody is trying to go ahead and peg the top of a stock. Remember, when you go long, whether it's an option or whether it is a security or stock, the most you can go ahead and lose is going to be your initial investment, right? Well, if you take a stock out on margin and you go short, how high could that stock go? Literally infinity, right? It could go up crazy insane. I do not know why people are shorting Tesla. It is just squeezing them over and over again. There was one hedge fund that we know of that was taken out so far by Tesla. And how many more are on the way, right? How many more? something that's really cool was showing this in class today. We were checking out shortvolumes.com, free site, and was looking, hey, look here, this one, Gold M, right? This is in the gold sector. They've got the short volumes from the prior day that's reported to FINRA, and they posted it here. So you can search it. It is public, but this site's awesome because you can go ahead and you can pull up a stock in particular. You don't have to download the Excel file and search for it. So look at this, 92% short volume on GLDM. Average volume is roughly 2.5 million a day and 89% short volume. Let's go ahead and go. You've got to think of a couple things, right? When we are talking about the economy, well, what could happen? We could have that dollar devalue with the market or with the everything that's happening with the pandemic, everything like that. And GLDM is in the gold sector, right? So when we look at gold, it looks like the next 1, 2, 3 months, 2.5, right? September, it pulls back a little bit. But the next 3 months could be amazing for gold. Again, this is equity clock, 20-year history. Doesn't mean it's going to do this every single year. But when we look at it, we say, hey, wait a second. All right, this is something to pay attention to annually, roughly. Well, let's go back and let's look at GLDM, right? I did mention a couple gold stocks. This is an anomaly right here because that's the correction. But let's go back to see what did it do last July. Let's just say for argument's sake, right? Okay, beginning of June, it started to go up. Well, let's see, beginning of June, yeah, looks like we went ahead and we started moving up from those averages, right? And we were able to go ahead and let's just look at beginning of July right here, or middle of June. We'll go to beginning of July, July 2nd. Cancel, I don't want that. July 2nd, went ahead and it gained $1.47 or 10%. So if we're going to go ahead and gain 10% on this, we might be headed up to $19.50 for GLDM. But if look at this, back here was the highest volume. I did do some research. There was 1 million shares traded in the dark pool right here on May 12th. Where are we? The high of that day was 1706. We're nice 70 cents above it. It was actually traded at 16.93, just a penny above the low of the day. Any coincidence that they bought at the bottom? No. So we are above that. They started making their trade here, and they went ahead and they placed their trade. We are above it right now. When we start to see the selling on it, that could be amazing. So definitely keep this one on watch. We might have a nice move, like I said, on up to 1950 on GLDM. Another one I did put a call out on Beyond, right? So Beyond, they actually just expanded to China. They just got a new contract in China. And for now, they are riding this moving average right here, this 4 moving average. It's got a little bit of traffic right around here. But when we go ahead and we break that 45, we'll likely be going up. We'll test the 150 range maybe again, 150, and then very quickly, in my opinion, we'll be hitting 160. So those are 3 that I would definitely keep on watch. Yeah, Julio, those bears shorting the SPY and Tesla, they should just not be stubborn, is what I think. So, thanks, Miguel. Yeah, live. Yes, I do have that, Scott. I do have Fastly on my short list. And when we look at it, we'll go ahead and look at it here. It pulled back to the moving average and it bounced. So it did have a nice little trade to the downside today. Pull it up here. So I said, hey, if it goes down below 83, it had a nice $3 move to the downside and it found a bit of support. So you would need to go ahead and see it really pull back. But when we look at it on the weekly, Scott, were you here yesterday when I did my watch list live? If we come back down, we could see it even come back to 65, or if it comes all the way back down to this trend line, we might see a $25 pullback on Fastly, potentially. As you guys know, it takes the staircase up and the elevator down. Where was the highest volume recently? Right here on this big candlestick. Well, we're below it now. We had this candlestick, the buyers still took it up. For now, they're taking it up here as well. So longer term trend would look, but hey, it's pretty extended still. It could come back to 78, even though we hit 80 today. I could see potential move down to the $2 range on the weekly chart. You know, if you're looking to get into this, check all different time frames. Check, I love the 45-minute chart, right? Okay, look, we're here at the 50 simple moving average on the 45-minute chart. It couldn't hold above 86, so we could go ahead and draw a little. We had this trend line here from yesterday. Look at that. I went from the top of this candle to the top of this candle. Where did it sell off? Right there at that trend line. So, hey, maybe that's the, you know, maybe you could get in low risk and then on up to 87.63. Yeah, Bat Scientist. Have you checked out the short volume on silver? One of my favorites. Full disclosure, I do have some SLV. So silver, yeah, when we look at it, those shorts are being stubborn, right? We've got 85%. 85% short. What are they doing? It's been going up. 72% short for the last 50 days. 72% of the volume every day for the last 50 days has been short. It's just, okay, you know, don't you guys abide by stops? Maybe these are newer traders. And when we look at, I also have that one too. I have the silver seasonality as well with, it's another one I looked at. What happens? Nice move all the way up to the beginning of September, right? It'll have a pullback maybe mid-August and then a surge into September on average for the past 13 years. Not every year it will be the same, but looking at that, yeah, on silver, we could easily have that happen and rip to the upside. Jacob, you're asking, do I text my watch list? Do you mean, do I send it out as a text message? I do have it available on Ticker Tocker, also on my website, cjanetrade.com. And it's done, I do it live on my Ticker Tocker channel, 8:15 to about 8:50. Go ahead and build the watch list. Go ahead and add all this information in. I also go ahead and, let's see if I can go ahead and pull it up really quickly. Pull it up here. So I do go ahead and I have that all accessible. So you can go ahead and see it, and you'll be able to go ahead and see charts with the levels on them, as well as the, let's see if I can go ahead up. I don't, oh, here we go. I'll show it on Ticker Tocker. I've got it right here. Got it up. So I go ahead, I give you what the indexes are doing. Pre-market, where are we pre-market? Here are the global announcements for today. Then I've got the list, and then I've got the charts set up so you can see what's going on. Hey, look, FUV, this was the weekly chart. Look at the crazy volume that happened on the week. We've got BABA as well. We were breaking out. We have a bit of a upside down head and shoulders, somewhat like a shoulder right here, a head, and then a bit more shoulder-ish over here. So looks like it's ready to launch. Square as well, another one that was breaking out on the day, and it had a pullback on Friday and then surged above. Microsoft's on the list, #1 holding in the SPY and the Qs, surging up. So it is available in text format, but I do not specifically text it out to anybody, if that answers your question, Jacob. All right, so we've got Microsoft as well, just chugging away. Now, I did look at this, and I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys, March 26th, right about here, news came out that Microsoft had a patent for a microchip for individuals to go ahead and use an implanted microchip in their body for cryptocurrency. So that means you need to think, okay, well, Microsoft is developing this cryptocurrency microchip to be planted in humans. So do these guys know something about what is going to happen with the world currencies? Are we going to go electronic and everything is going to be in the crypto world? I mean, we pretty much live electronically. Let's get real. With credit cards, that's an electronic form of payment. So why would it be any different? You know, you trust your bank. You have banks that are all online, ING, all online, Orange Direct as well up in Canada, all online. You don't physically go to a bank for that. So that's an electronic currency, right? You receive your paycheck in, comes in electronically, direct deposit. You pay with a credit card, that's electronic. The only difference is you can go to an ATM and pull out that hard currency. So are they going to go ahead and eliminate ATMs at the same time? You know, how long is it going to take for everything to become solely electronic, or are they still going to linger with the paper currency? So maybe think about it. And Microsoft is just, it's surging ahead. Now, right here, you can see we're far extended away. Are we going to have that pullback? We potentially could have a pullback here. You know, maybe we'll have a pullback tomorrow after we hit 319. I'm going on record and saying, hey, we're going up to 319 today. And we're going to test up here. 319.41, right? 319.41. Let's see where we close today. You guys have any questions on any stocks that you'd like to check out? I've got roughly 10 more minutes of time that we can go ahead and devote to questions. You guys ever have questions too and not doing a live session, you guys can always reach me at jane@cjanetrade.com, and I try to answer a lot of questions in video format too on my YouTube channel. So it's just Airplane Jane on YouTube. So definitely come and check it out. Let's go ahead and let's calculate the Qs really quickly. Let's see where the Qs should. All right, let's go here. Let's see, Qs. Where do we close? 258.93. Go over here. 258.93. And really quickly, I'll give you a potential target. Obviously, it's changing a little bit as I put it in. So the beast of the Qs. All right, let's go down a little further. So Pepsi, 0.14, 2.04, 0.44, oops, 1.61, 0.57, and 1.18. All right, 265.10. Looks like, and that's 68% of the Qs, right? So looks like we could have a big short squeeze to the upside. They might be saying, hey, come on, be sucked in, get sucked into shorting that we're so far away, and we might really surge overnight. So be cautious if you are short. I'm going to put it out there, be very cautious, because right now 68% of the index is showing that we need to be up at 265 based on the weighting of each, this is the ETF weight, the portion, and that's how much it would be affected. So check that out, because that's huge. That's a big move. $8 move potentially to the upside. Keep it on watch. Maybe it's going to be a swing overnight move. All right, so let's go and look at Amazon. Beast mode, right? Okay, so we had this. It was a support for a little while. Then it came and it tested as resistance. So we might find that that trend line will test as resistance again moving forward up here right at 3,072. Or it could also pull back down to 28.33. So right now, looking at the fact that maybe the indexes are going to catch up with the stocks that are in the holdings in the indexes, that 3,074 might be the first target, and then we might pull back down to that 2,900. All right, and let's look at Boeing. My personal opinion on Boeing, they got those maxes grounded again till the beginning of 2021. How much are they hemorrhaging on that? They are not able to go ahead and really sell those other ones that they've developed on the ground. And we've got a bit of a triangle right here. Oops, that's not what I wanted. Let's do this. Right, we've got that downward. So we could have a move coming, in my opinion. If we break this 30, this yellow line, 179.50, we could be coming down and test that. Whoops, that's not what I meant to move. We could go ahead and test down here. If we break that, I think there could be a nice move down to the 170 area, and then after 170 down to 163.60, Scott, for Boeing. So that's my opinion right there. And if that were to pull back, you know, Boeing is in the Dow Jones. Let's see, I got it right here, right? It's right here. It's number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The Dow Jones 30. So it could pull back the Dow Jones. And I know there was somebody out there saying, hey, yeah, go ahead and short it. But looking at what happens to the indexes for the first 2 weeks of July, maybe that pullback is really going to happen the 10th next week. We might start to see a bit more of that pullback. In my opinion, I feel like we're really going to surge. Those shorts are really going to be feeling the pain, and they're going to really have some pain this week. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today, guys. Have an amazing afternoon. If you guys have questions, email me at jane@cjanetrade.com. Kyrie Profit sees those profits one trade at a time. And I'll see you here on Ticker Tocker TV this upcoming Friday at 1 p.m. See you then. Bye.
The risk of loss in trading commodity interests can be substantial. You should therefore carefully consider whether such trading is suitable for you in light of your financial condition, and considering whether to trade or to authorize someone else to trade for you. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
The Ticker Talker app brings the powerful